I have spent over 50 years practicing medicine, and in all those years, I have learned that the most powerful medicine does not come in a bottle. It comes from nature, specifically from the fruits we eat every day. Now, you might expect me to tell you about the latest drug or expensive treatment, but the truth is far simpler. There are 8 specific fruits that, when eaten daily, can support a long, vibrant, and healthy life. Not just to survive, but to truly thrive, mentally, physically, and emotionally, well into your 80s, 90s, and even past 100. These are not exotic, hard-to-find fruits. These are natural gifts you can find at your local grocery store or farmer's market. They have been quietly keeping people healthy for generations. So, if you are over 55, if you are thinking more about your health, your memory, your energy, and how you want to spend the next chapter of your life, then stay with me. Because in this video, I will walk you through each of these 8 powerful fruits. And I will explain not only why they work, but how I, as a retired medical doctor now in my 80s, have used them every single day to stay sharp, mobile, and joyful. This is not just about living longer, it is about living better. And it all starts with what you choose to put on your plate each morning. Fruit number 1, blueberries. The first fruit on our list is small, simple, and easy to overlook. But do not let its size fool you. Blueberries are one of the most powerful foods you can eat, especially as you grow older. Blueberries are packed with antioxidants. These are natural compounds that fight the damage caused by time, stress, and pollution inside your body. And one of the most remarkable things about blueberries is their effect on the brain. Several long-term studies have shown that older adults who regularly eat blueberries have better memory, better focus, and even a reduced risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. But this is not just science on paper. I have personally seen the difference. I started eating blueberries every morning when I turned 65. Not because I was sick, but because I wanted to protect what I still had: my mind, my energy, and my independence. Now, at 84 years old, I still start my day the same way. A small bowl of fresh or frozen blueberries. I add them to oatmeal, to yogurt, or just eat them plain. They are sweet, satisfying, and doing quiet work inside me that I cannot even see, but I can feel it. You do not need a prescription for blueberries. You just need the habit. And over time, that habit can shape the way you age, slowly, gently, with clarity and strength. Up next is a fruit that does more than just protect your memory. It supports your heart, your blood pressure, and even your skin. And it is as beautiful on the inside as it is on the outside. Fruit number 2, pomegranate. The second fruit I want to share with you is not only delicious, it is also deeply symbolic. In many ancient cultures, the pomegranate was seen as a symbol of life, fertility, and longevity. And now, modern science is catching up with what our ancestors somehow already knew. This fruit is a gift to the human body, especially as we age. Pomegranate is rich in powerful antioxidants called polyphenols. These compounds protect the cells in your body from damage, especially the cells of your heart and blood vessels. Regular consumption of pomegranate juice has been linked to lower blood pressure, improved cholesterol levels, and reduced inflammation in the arteries. But there is something else. Pomegranate also supports memory and cognitive health. In one study, older adults who drank pomegranate juice every day for 4 weeks showed significantly improved memory performance. And that is not just a nice bonus. That is life-changing, especially for anyone concerned about mental sharpness in their later years. When I was practicing medicine, I used to see patients with early signs of memory loss, fatigue, and poor circulation. I would often suggest something very simple: add half a cup of fresh pomegranate seeds or a small glass of pure juice to your day. And more than once, they would return to me and say, "Doctor, I feel clearer, I feel better." Now, I still drink pomegranate juice 2 or 3 times a week. I also enjoy sprinkling the seeds over salads or simply eating them with a spoon. The rich red color, the burst of flavor, It is more than just nutrition. It is joy in every bite. If you have never tried pomegranate, give it a chance. And if it has been a while, maybe it is time to bring it back into your life. Next, we will move on to a fruit that is incredibly familiar, but often underestimated. It is soft, sweet, and full of potassium, a key mineral for keeping your muscles strong and your heart steady. Fruit number 3, banana. Now let us talk about a fruit that most of us have known since childhood, the banana. It is easy to find, easy to eat, and easy to love. But what many people do not realize is that this simple fruit plays an essential role in supporting the health of older adults. Bananas are one of the richest natural sources of potassium. Potassium is a mineral that helps control your blood pressure, supports proper muscle function, and keeps your heart beating at a steady, healthy rhythm. For people over the age of 60, maintaining good potassium levels can reduce the risk of strokes, heart problems, and painful muscle cramps. I remember a patient of mine, a woman in her 70s, who came in complaining of leg cramps that woke her up at night. She had tried stretching, warm baths, even medication. Nothing seemed to help. I asked her a simple question: "How often do you eat bananas?" She laughed and said, "I haven't had one in years." I suggested she start eating one banana a day, just one. 2 weeks later, the cramps were gone. That is the power of nutrition. No side effects, no high cost, just nature doing what it was always meant to do: restore balance. I eat a banana almost every afternoon. It gives me a gentle boost of energy and helps keep my digestion running smoothly. Bananas are also easy to digest, making them perfect for people with sensitive stomachs or slower metabolism. If you are someone who struggles with blood pressure or muscle tightness, do not overlook the banana. Sometimes the best medicine comes in a yellow peel. And next, we will look at a fruit that has gained a lot of attention in recent years. And for good reason. It is creamy, full of healthy fats, and supports your brain, your joints, and your skin. Fruit number 4, avocado. Now let us turn to a fruit that is creamy, rich, and often misunderstood: the avocado. Many people used to avoid avocados because they believed it was too high in fat. But what we know now is that the kind of fat in avocados is not harmful. In fact, it is one of the healthiest types of fat you can eat. Avocados are full of monounsaturated fats, which support your heart, reduce inflammation, and even help lower bad cholesterol. But that is just the beginning. Avocados are also a powerful brain food. They are rich in something called folate, as well as vitamin E and omega-9 fatty acids. These nutrients help protect brain cells from aging, and they support good blood flow to the brain. In simple terms, that means sharper thinking, better memory, and a lower risk of cognitive decline. I remember a man named John who came to see me in his late 60s. He was a retired school principal, still sharp, but beginning to feel a bit forgetful. Nothing serious, just small slips. Together, we worked on building a brain-friendly diet. One of the first things I told him was to start eating half an avocado each day. He thought I was joking. Avocados? Really? But after a few weeks, he began to notice something. He felt more alert. His thoughts came more easily. And maybe even more importantly, he said he just felt better. Avocados also help you feel full longer, which can reduce unnecessary snacking and support healthy weight. They are high in fiber, which is essential for digestion, especially as our systems slow down with age. There are so many ways to enjoy them. I like to mash half an avocado on whole grain toast with a little olive oil and lemon. You can also add slices to salads, blend them into smoothies, or eat them with a spoon and a pinch of salt. It is satisfying in a way that feels both indulgent and healing. So if you have been avoiding avocados because of old myths about fat, let those go. This is not just a trendy food. It is a deeply nourishing one. And for older adults, especially those looking to support their heart and brain, the avocado might just be one of the smartest choices you can make. Next, we will explore a small green fruit that is often overlooked, but packed with more vitamin C than an orange. It is tangy, refreshing, and a powerful ally for your immune system. Fruit number 5, kiwi. Let me introduce you to one of the most underestimated fruits in the world, the kiwi. It is small, fuzzy on the outside, bright green on the inside, and it delivers an incredible punch of nutrition in every single bite. In fact, most people do not realize that kiwi contains more vitamin C than an orange. Just one kiwi can provide over 70% of your daily vitamin C needs, and that is a big deal, especially as we age. Vitamin C is not just for preventing colds. It supports your immune system, helps your body repair tissues, and keeps your skin healthy. It also plays a role in iron absorption, which becomes more important later in life when energy levels and bone strength often begin to decline. But the kiwi does even more. It is full of antioxidants, potassium, and fiber. The kind of fiber in kiwi helps with digestion, keeps your bowels regular, and gently supports gut health, something many older adults quietly struggle with. If you are someone who deals with occasional constipation or sluggish digestion, eating 1 or 2 kiwis a day may make a big difference without relying on pills or powders. What I also love about kiwi is how gentle it is. It is easy to chew, easy to digest, and naturally low in sugar, making it a great fruit for people watching their blood sugar levels. I had a gentleman once, early 70s, a widower who lived alone. He told me he was eating the same food every day: toast, eggs, and coffee. He was starting to feel tired, his skin looked dry, and his immune system was weak. I gave him just one piece of advice. Start eating a kiwi each morning with breakfast. 3 weeks later, he returned with a smile. He said, "I feel like I turned a corner." His skin looked better, his digestion improved, and he said he felt a little more alive. That is the quiet power of real food. No hype, no miracle, just consistent nourishment. Kiwi is easy to prepare. You can slice it and scoop it out with a spoon, or eat it whole, skin and all, if you do not mind a little fuzz. It is also a perfect addition to fruit salads, smoothies, or eaten plain as a snack. So if you are looking for a simple way to strengthen your immune system and keep your digestion smooth, try adding a kiwi or 2 into your daily routine. Now, the next fruit is quite the opposite of small. It is bold, bright, and bursting with tropical flavor. But more importantly, it carries a unique enzyme that helps reduce inflammation in the joints, something many of us deal with after the age of 60. Fruit number 6, pineapple. Now let us talk about a fruit that is as bright and bold as a summer sunrise, the pineapple. Pineapple is sweet, juicy, and tropical, but beneath that golden flesh is something even more valuable: a natural compound called bromelain. Bromelain is a powerful enzyme that helps reduce inflammation in the body, especially in the joints. And for anyone over the age of 60, joint pain is not just common. It can affect everything from your sleep to your ability to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, like walking, gardening, or playing with your grandchildren. I remember one of my longtime patients, a retired carpenter in his late 60s, who came to me frustrated with stiffness in his knees. He had tried creams, heating pads, even injections, but the swelling kept returning. We made a few changes to his diet, and one of the first things I encouraged him to add was fresh pineapple. He looked at me a little confused and said, "Doctor, you want me to eat fruit for my knees?" I said, "Nick, yes, but not just any fruit. This one fights inflammation from the inside." A few weeks later, he came back with a different look in his eyes. Less pain, more movement. He told me he had started eating a few slices of pineapple 3 times a week, and it made a difference. But bromelain is not the only gift inside a pineapple. It is also packed with vitamin C, manganese, and other antioxidants that support your immune system, bones, and even digestion. In fact, pineapple has natural digestive enzymes that help break down protein, making it a wonderful addition to meals, especially for those who feel heavy or bloated after eating. It is also incredibly refreshing. During the warmer months, I often blend fresh pineapple into smoothies or simply enjoy it chilled. It is sweet, hydrating, and energizing without adding any processed sugar or caffeine. When buying pineapple, fresh is best. You can also find it pre-cut, but be sure there is no added syrup or sugar. And if you have sensitive gums or a sore mouth, try blending it into a smoothie to reduce any irritation from the acid. Pineapple is a great example of how food can be both healing and joyful. It does not feel like medicine. It feels like a treat. But your body knows the difference. Now, as we continue, we are going to look at a fruit that might be sitting on your kitchen counter right now. It is one of the most iconic fruits in the world. And you have probably heard the saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." But there is more truth in that phrase than most people realize. Fruit number 7, apple. There is a reason why the saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away," has lasted for generations. Sometimes the simplest wisdom is the most powerful. The apple is not flashy, it is not exotic, but it has stood the test of time, and for good reason. Apples are rich in fiber, especially a type called pectin, which supports gut health and helps regulate cholesterol levels. That means eating apples regularly can gently lower your risk of heart disease, a leading concern for many people over the age of 60. But apples do more than protect the heart. They also help control blood sugar, support digestion, and even reduce inflammation throughout the body. And because they are naturally filling and low in calories, apples make a perfect snack for anyone trying to maintain a healthy weight without giving up satisfaction. When I retired from medicine, one of the things I kept in my daily routine was my afternoon walk and my daily apple. I usually have it around mid-morning or in the afternoon when I feel like I need something fresh. It gives me energy, helps curb hunger, and reminds me of something my mother used to say, "Start the day crisp and clean, like an apple." I also remember a couple I worked with, both in their late 70s. They had been married for over 50 years. One day, the husband brought me a note from his wife saying, "We still split an apple every night after dinner, just like we did when we were first dating." It made me smile, because that is the beauty of the apple. It is not just about nutrition. It is about habit, memory, and shared moments. Apples also support oral health. The act of chewing them stimulates saliva production, which naturally helps protect teeth and gums. For older adults, this can be an easy, tasty way to support dental health without adding another product to your routine. I always recommend buying organic apples if you can, since the skin is often eaten, and that is where many of the nutrients are. And speaking of the skin, do not peel it. That is where much of the fiber and antioxidants live. So if you are looking for a daily fruit that quietly does it all, supports the heart, the gut, the blood sugar, and even your teeth, the apple deserves its reputation. It may be humble, but it is powerful. And now, we come to our final fruit. It is small, sweet, and deep in color, and it contains a special compound that has been linked to healthy aging, heart protection, and even longer life. Fruit number 8, red grapes. Our final fruit may be small, but it holds within it one of the most powerful secrets to aging well. I am talking about red grapes, sweet, juicy, and deeply nourishing in ways you might not expect. Red grapes contain a natural compound called resveratrol. This antioxidant is found in the skin of the grape, and over the past 20 years, scientists have studied it closely. Why? Because resveratrol has been linked to healthy aging, heart protection, reduced inflammation, and even longevity. In fact, resveratrol is one of the reasons why you may have heard of something called the French paradox, the idea that people in France, despite eating foods high in fat, tend to have lower rates of heart disease. Researchers believe that moderate consumption of red wine made from red grapes plays a role. But here is the good news. You do not need wine to get the benefits. Fresh red grapes contain resveratrol in its most natural form. I had a dear friend, now in his late 80s, who once told me, "I eat grapes every afternoon while sitting on the porch. It's become a little ritual, a glass of water, a handful of grapes, and a moment to be still." And perhaps that is what grapes really offer us. Not just nutrients, but a moment of peace, a chance to slow down and savor life. Aside from resveratrol, red grapes are also rich in vitamin C and K, potassium, and other antioxidants that support immune health and circulation. They help relax blood vessels, which can naturally support healthy blood pressure, a major concern for many older adults. Red grapes also contain compounds that have been shown to protect the eyes and support brain health. That means they are not only good for your heart, they may help preserve your memory and vision as well. One of the things I love most about grapes is how easy they are. There is no peeling, slicing, or preparation. Just wash them and enjoy. You can eat them fresh, freeze them for a cool snack in the summer, or toss them into salads for a burst of natural sweetness. They also pair beautifully with protein or nuts, making them part of a balanced, satisfying snack. Of course, as with anything sweet, portion matters. Grapes contain natural sugar, so I usually recommend a small handful, about 1 cup, once a day. It is enough to provide the benefits without spiking your blood sugar. There is also something symbolic about grapes. For centuries, they have represented abundance, celebration, and life. In ancient times, they were offered to the gods, shared at feasts, and used to mark sacred moments. Even now, I think of them as a fruit that reminds us to live fully, to savor the sweetness of life, even in its simplest form. As we close this list of 8 powerful fruits, I hope you are beginning to see a pattern. Nature has always given us the tools we need to stay strong, sharp, and full of life. We just need to choose them one bite at a time. And in the final part of this video, I want to bring all of this together. Not just the science, but the heart of what it means to age with grace, purpose, and joy. So here we are. 8 simple fruits, not pills, not procedures, not expensive health programs, just real food grown from the earth that has been keeping people strong and healthy for generations. You do not have to eat them all at once. You do not have to change everything overnight. But maybe tomorrow morning, you will reach for a handful of blueberries. Maybe next week, you will start slicing up a kiwi after lunch. These little choices made day after day become habits, and habits become health. As someone who has spent over 5 decades watching how people age, the difference between those who struggle and those who thrive has almost always come down to this: how they care for their bodies, how they nourish their minds, and how they treat each day as a new beginning, no matter how old they are. You see, getting older is not a burden. It is a privilege. It means you have lived, you have learned, you have loved, and now you have the chance to live with even more intention, more clarity, more peace. These fruits are not just about nutrition, they are about hope. They are about giving yourself the gift of energy, strength, and joy, not just for you, but for the people who love you, your children, your grandchildren, your friends. They want you here, and not just here, but well. I truly believe that it is never too late to take one small step in the direction of health. Whether you are 60 or 90, your body still responds to love, to care, and to nourishment. So start where you are. Pick one fruit, one habit, one decision that says, I'm not done growing, because you're not. And if this video spoke to you, if you felt seen, encouraged, or inspired, I hope you will share it with someone else who might need that same reminder, that it is possible to live not just longer, but better. Thank you for spending this time with me. And until we meet again, stay well, stay curious, and remember, every day is a fresh chance to care for the life you've been given.